Awesome, awesome. Thank you guys for joining me today. Today we have a really cool webinar set up for you guys. We're going to go over all our TrueType, or not all, but we're going to go over some of our TrueType fonts and how to better utilize those to make those designs really pop. Actually, this is Rudy, guys. My name is Rudy. Matt's out of the office today, so I'll be actually conducting the webinar for you guys. We have Doc Brown, aka Daniel, on the other side answering your questions as well today, so make sure you guys ask as many questions as you guys can. Now we are doing a beginner webinar today where we're just going to be going over some of the basics, how to use the TrueType fonts. Also be making some designs for you guys. Hey, how you doing? So we'll be going over that as well as some other techniques to use when working with TrueType fonts. So I'm just wait a couple more minutes here while everybody piles in. We do have a great turnout. We actually had over the 150-person limit, so we actually do have a full house today, so we'll just wait a couple more minutes to let everybody get in here. All right, awesome. So starting off, I do have a couple questions for you guys. Actually, I have one poll question for you, and that is, do you currently work with TrueType fonts? So I'm going to go ahead and launch this for you guys, so go ahead and answer those. All right, so it looks like 71% say yes, 57 yes. All right, do not know how to, so that's always good. 26, looks like 50% of you do use TrueType fonts already, 8% don't, 16% will be soon, and 26% do not know how to. Okay, awesome. Now, let me ask you another question. Are you guys using the TRW Stone Wizard with Corel Draw at the moment, or are you guys using a different software to work with your TrueType fonts? Okay, see no, yes, Wizard, awesome. I see a couple of you also use the Designer Edition. We also have some awesome Designer Edition tutorial videos that will go over how to use the TrueType fonts as well, so make sure you guys watch those. Okay, so it looks like, okay, another silhouette here. We use Wizard, okay, not using Designer Edition. Okay, awesome. So today, obviously, we're going to be using Corel Draw. So as you can tell, I'm using X7 here, and we're going to be using the TRW Stone Wizard to work with our TrueType fonts today. So we're going to go ahead and start by clicking our TRW. So we have our toolbar up here that's brand new to the 2.09, and this toolbar is actually going to make it a lot easier when working with TrueType fonts. We have a couple features in here to work with those paths with text. So again, it's going to make your life easier when working with these TrueType fonts. So let's go ahead and open our TRW Stone Wizard, and the first thing you'll notice is obviously we have all of our color palettes here on the left-hand side. But we also have our Stone Wizard tab, and we have our second tab in here which says Font. And that, if you click on that, what you'll notice is basically all the fonts in your font library you can find right in here. So if you scroll down, you'll see every single font that you see in here, you will see also in your Corel Draw, or if you go to Microsoft Word, or any software that your font library is downloaded to. So anything you see in there, you also see right here. The good thing about it is you're going to get a nice little font preview here, so it's going to show you exactly what that font's going to look like. Or if you're using upper and lower case for those, for some fonts, obviously you can't use the lower or upper case. So the font preview tab here is going to tell you which ones you can actually use for what particular font you're working with. Also, we have our nice little find font feature here, so you can just type in TRW, and you'll see all your TRW TrueType fonts come right up. So you can tell we have them all right here. Another cool feature is the Add to Favorites. With Add to Favorites, you're able to actually add these particular fonts right up to your favorite fonts, and easy use right there. So let's just say you type in W, and you click, oh, actually that's a number, but let's just say you type in, let's go back to our pick tool here. We'll go ahead and type something else in here that actually qualifies. So let's go ahead and type, we'll go to our multi-deck here, and just add that to our favorites. So you'll notice that's at the bottom here now, and you can tell it says upper and lower, so I can type in both the upper. So I'm going to type U, double click, and now you have your U in that TrueType font. And yes, LaDonna, this is going to be recorded for you guys, and we usually post them about 24 to 48 hours after the webinar is concluded. All right, so I do want to go over some designs today. I will go ahead and make a couple designs for you guys. Debbie, double click on the actual font. So if you go right here to where it says favorite fonts, or and the actual double click to select fonts. See how it says double click right here? It just shows you, just another quick reminder for you just to double click it once you have your letters highlighted. And Debbie, I'll slow down. Thank you for letting me know. I will slow down for you, alright? And Dolores, you don't need Corel Draw to work with the TRW fonts. Like I said, you can actually use them with Designer Edition or other softwares out there. And we do have some videos that kind of show you how to work with the Designer Edition by using the point size system. Oh, let me go ahead and pause this for you guys real quick here. Alright, so let's go ahead and show you kind of how some of the TrueType fonts work as far as typing them out and be able to resize them, and if you have a couple color designs, how to use the edit tab in the Stone Wizard to convert that two-color TrueType font into an actual real two-color design. And Suzanne said, how do you get the wizard bar on top? Suzanne, that's actually the brand new 2.09 update actually will install that toolbar right up there for you. So you'll be able to start working with that toolbar as soon as you download the 2.09, which was actually a brand new upgrade for free. Alright, so let's go ahead and show you guys a little bit of how TrueType fonts work. So before with the fonts, you would basically get a download file and you would have to drag each letter in. Now the way that TrueType fonts work is very simple. You can just type out a word. So let's just say you type out football, and we can go to our fonts tab. And let's just say we're using the TRW 130 super small. And notice because it has the upper and the lower here, we actually typed in the F in uppercase, so it actually gave me the box around it. So what we want here is actually just the font without the box, so I can just retype the F in there in lowercase, and that's going to give me the football right there. And now this is still not the final product. What we want to do now is actually resize it, which is going to break the curves apart, and it's going to give me each circle individual, so I can actually move those around and work with those each one at a time. So what I want to do, I'm going to go back to my Stone Wizard here, and I'm going to hit my resize design, and that's going to actually resize it to the appropriate size. And now we see that the stone size is that 0.129, 0.30 circle. That is exactly what we need. So now this is ready to go. So let's just say you had a two-color design and you want to make this football into a two-color design. No problem. Let's go ahead and change the colors here, and we'll change the bottom color, and now you have a cool two-color design here. And what we can do is now create our templates, and there you go. So you have your two templates for the top part of the football letter and the bottom part of the football letter here. It's pretty easy, pretty quick way to work with that particular font there. Let's just say you had a two-color design now. So let's type out TRW. Let me go to my fonts, and let's say you had a two-color design. So let's go ahead here and choose our athletic, which is now you see here, because I typed in uppercase, it gives me the fill of the TrueType font. And now all I have to do to fill create the outline for it, I'm going to go back to my edit tab here, and I'm going to hit my two-color magic text, and there you go. So you got your two colors created. Now your last step is actually resizing it. So you have your resize tool here, and we also have our shortcut keys here. So you can resize it by left-clicking. It's going to ask you to replace the stones. We're going to say yes. And now we have that 0.13 again. You see that? So that design is ready to create your templates or your mock-up. Erica? Okay, yeah, no problem at all, Erica. Let me go ahead and redo that. So let's go back a couple steps here. All right, so I typed out TRW, and now I typed it out using my uppercase. You can tell because it typed out in the fill form. So now what I want to do is add the lower part of it, or excuse me, the outline, which I'm going to do by using my two-color magic text here in our edit tab. So say you're in your fonts tab, we're going to go back to Stone Wizard, and you have all your separate tabs down here. What I want to do is actually go to my edit tab, and under my edit tab, you see the two-color magic text right here. You see that? So just click on that. Oh, sorry, you got to actually highlight your design, and let's hit two-color magic, and bam, you have your two-color design ready to go. Last step is highlight and go ahead and click on the particular stone size that you want this particular design to be in. So let's say we want them in 10s. I'm going to go ahead and left click on my 10 right up here that I have preset for my shortcut keys, and I'm going to hit yes. When it asks me not all stones are 0.13 inches, would you like to replace stones? And we're just going to go ahead and hit yes right there. And now your design is ready to create your templates or your mock-up. You want to go to 6? Okay, just go ahead and, again, just left click, and there you go. Now your stones are at that 6 size, that 0.097. You see that, Debbie? So very quick, very easy way to change the stone size of these fonts. Alright, so let's go ahead. Now, if you guys seen a lot of the new fonts that we've been coming out with as far as the baseball fonts, the baseball images, the baseball laces, and the football. I know Matt was actually working on a font as well for the tennis. So we have a lot of cool different fonts out there right now, and I do want to create a design for you guys using that particular font. So let's go ahead and I'll choose, let's go ahead and choose, give me 3 or 4 letters for your high school, local high school. And I'll go ahead and create a cool football design for that particular high school. So go ahead and first 2 to come up twice, I will go ahead and choose those. So it looks like SHS. Oh, Debbie's cheating over here. She's putting her response in of more than one. So all right, let's see what else we got. So it looks like LHS is our. Let me see. Yep, looks like LHS is our winner today. So Shelby, congratulations. Looks like we're going to go ahead and use LHS for this particular design. All right, so let's go ahead and start out by typing LHS. And now let's go ahead and get our appropriate size down that we want it to be at. And we'll just make it about, we can make it about 9.5 around there. So make it 9.4.8. Oh, sorry about that, Debbie. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and select our font that we want to use, which is going to be our TRW football image, or excuse me, our football laces here. And you can tell it converts it right to that particular font. So it looks awesome. Now we still have to add the second color to this, because right now we only have part of the design or that font. So as you can tell, we have our laces here, which is going to be filled, and all this area right here where you see the empty cavities, those will be filled as well with your second color. So let's go back to our stone wizard. I'm going to go back to my 2-color magic, and there you go. So you have your 2-color magic ready to go. So you guys can tell, and then if I move it, you can see right in the background it's actually already simplified for you, and we've actually used the magic trap. So if I go to my wireframe, you can actually see where we actually created this font with the magic trap feature, which allows you to put both of the glitter colors directly to your garment. Oh, are you guys having the issue with your screen being frozen? I'm seeing somebody saying that their screen is frozen. Are you guys seeing everything okay, or are you guys having any issues with the webinar right now? Okay, so looks like everybody. Are you able to see this, Debbie, or are you still having issues, right? Oh, got it? Okay, perfect. Awesome. Awesome. So as you guys can tell, we have the LHS created here, and it is in the magic trap, so you guys are able to put both of the different vinyls directly onto your garment to ensure that once you do wash it, or once you've reached that 15-30 wash limit, those corners won't be peeling because you're putting them directly into the garment. Yeah, no problem, Debbie. I can definitely do that again for you. So let's go ahead and just retype LHS for you, and then we're just going to go ahead and increase the size just a little bit here, down to the 9.5. And then all I'm going to do is go back to my fonts, and because I already have it selected up here, I already have it added to my favorites, I'm just going to go ahead and double click it. And Suzanne, Suzanne wants to know what vinyl is best. It really depends on what you're working with. The Easyweed, glitter vinyl, fashion vinyl, they're all great vinyls. It just depends what you're actually trying to create as far as the design's concerned. But we do have those spec sheets that actually tell you directions on how to press, directions exactly what goes best with what vinyl. So if you actually shoot us an email after the webinar's over, we'll be more than happy to direct you towards that part on the website for you, all right? Now, I do want to just keep it simple, Suzanne, because it's just a TrueType font kind of webinar, basic startup. So I want to make sure we stick strictly to the plan that we have today. But yeah, send us that email. We'll be more than happy to direct you to the right location for those, all right? All right, as far as this design, let's go ahead and show Debbie what we did here previously. So once I double-clicked it, now we have our LHS, and now I'm able to go to my Stone Wizard and do 2-color magic, and there you go. So you have your 2-color design ready to go, and this is actually ready to separate. Of course, you would have to mirror it first, but this is ready to create your templates now because, again, it is using the magic trap, so you have nothing to worry about if you want to use Easyweed or glitter vinyl or holographic. So let's go ahead and now create, let's add a little bit more to this design to make it really pop. So we want to add some rhinestones. Let's go ahead and create a cool 2-color design with rhinestones as well. Erica wants to add, great question, Erica. And Shelby, yes, the white leather is very similar, just that white, the white color instead of the brown leather. And okay, so Janet wants to know, how do you mirror it? Janet, very simple. If I highlight my design, Corel Draw actually has that feature right up here. So if you look directly underneath where it says table, you have your mirror option right here, so mirror horizontal, or you can actually mirror it vertically as well. So you just go ahead and click on that, and there you go. You have it mirrored, and now you can go ahead and create your template. You see that? And if you want to go back, just click on the mirror image again, and it's going to bring it right back to how it was. And Erica, if you want to change the color, simply click on the color that you want changed, and you can actually change it from there. And actually, I'll show you that here in a second as well. So we have our LHS. Let's go ahead and create some cool. Let's just make some couple lines of rhinestones right here in the middle to just kind of add more contrast to the design, and then we'll add football on the bottom, and then we'll actually add your name and number on the back of the shirt as well, so you guys can see the full process of creating the front and the back of a mock-up as well. So let's go ahead and go to our 2-point tool up here. If I zoom in, and I'm actually going to be holding down Control when I do this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just create a line, and you can tell if I hold Control, it gives me a perfect line going across. You see that? Actually, let's move this just down just a tad bit here. And again, if you hold Control, you can actually move it up and down the line a lot better, and it's going to keep it in that path. So let's go ahead and put that line there, and I'm going to go to my Place and Fill tab, and all I'm going to do is hit Add Stones to select the path, and see that now it added all those stones to my path that I created there. And now, one right now is not enough, I don't think. It doesn't look quite right. So what I want to do, actually this design's pretty large. Let's go ahead and just shrink it down some. Here, it's back to the 9.5, 9.4 around there. And let me go ahead and get rid of my paths here. And now what I can do is actually delete these stones out of there. And now we have our line left over with our 9.4-inch design here. So I actually want to go ahead and copy about 2 more lines of this rhinestone section right here, just to make the design pop a little more. So I'm going to go back to my Edit tab. I'm going to go to my copy selected, and notice I have one selected here. Most of you guys, if you guys are just starting off with a wizard, is probably going to say 0.02, but that you can actually change to whatever number you wish. So I like working with 1. I think it gives me a nice little space in between, except for when we're doing this. So let's go back 1, and I'm going to actually change it back to the 0.02. I'm sorry. And now we're going to go ahead and just select it down. So now you see that. Now you got the 0.02 spacing in between, and you got your 3 rows of stones right there ready to go. Let's go ahead and move this up just a tad bit, make it look better. Perfect. So now we got our LHS at the top, we got our stones right here in the middle, and now let's go ahead and add football to the bottom. So we'll use a nice basic font for that, such as the Impact. I like the Impact. It's a nice bold color, or excuse me, a bold font, so that really stands out when working with that particular font. So let's go ahead and type out football, and we're just going to go ahead and shrink it down some here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my Fonts tab, and even if it's just an Impact font, you can still add it. You'll still find it in this font library folder here. So it's not just our fonts or any TrueType fonts. It's every font that you have in your folder you'll find in that particular section there. So let's go ahead and just click on my Impact, and I'm going to go right back to my Stone Wizard section, and what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to spread these letters apart a little bit more just to make it look more a little bit nicer with this design. So I'm going to hit my text spacing here, and if you notice, you have your arrows right here, and if you just drag the arrow, it basically allows you to kind of spread those letters apart. You see that? So very easy to work with. I'm going to go right back to my tab here, and now we have football right underneath. So now you have your LHS football with your rhinestones in the middle, so you have a really cool multi-deck design created in a matter of no time there. And Erica, as long as it's a TrueType font, all you have to do is once you install it, you'll find it right there in your fonts library. So as long as you install the font, you won't have an issue finding it because it's going to be in your font library, which is right here in your Stone Wizard. The only thing is you do have to close down the wizard once you install a font and then just bring it back up. And that's just basically updating and letting you know that, hey, there's a new font in this font library for you guys to use. So now we have our LHS football. Now what color do you guys want to go ahead and make this? So we'll choose 2 colors for the vinyl, and then let me know what color you guys want to use for the stones here in the middle. Red and white. Okay, do you want the outline to be in red or the outline to be in white, Shelby? Okay, outline in white. Perfect. We'll go ahead and do that for you. So here's another cool feature that we have in the wizard. Now this is basically a feature that's created for the mock-ups, and it's going to allow you to send this design to your customer without actually creating a sample of it. All you're doing is making the design and you're going to change the color of the inside right here. We actually have our magic vinyl section here, and what you'll notice is we have every single color that we carry as far as glitter, holographic, fashion, or electric. We actually have taken a picture of and installed it into the wizard. So these are actually real colors, true colors. So now you can tell your customer, hey, this is exactly what the design is going to look like on a t-shirt, and you'll see what I mean by when we create the mock-up. So let's go ahead and change the color of the outline here to white. So again, we have that white glitter color there, and now we're going to go ahead and make, I believe she said, red for the inside. Yep, so we're going to go ahead and make the inside right here. We'll go ahead and choose red glitter for that. So now you have your white outline, the white glitter outline with your red glitter fill in the inside right here. And now let's go ahead and change the football to white. And then what do you think about the stones, guys? On a black shirt? Okay, yeah, I can definitely do it on a black shirt. Our font's easy to install into Stone Wizard. Yes, Julie. I mean, with the fonts, TrueType fonts are very easy to install. Once you actually download them, and if you have an earlier or a newer version of Windows, it's going to give you a font preview box where it's going to give you the download or install. Just hit install, and it's going to be placed right into your font library for you guys to work with. And again, it's just once you actually install it into your computer, it's going to be it's going to be in your fonts folder in the Stone Wizard for you guys to work with. Joanne, yeah, actually when you're purchasing the software under the gallery section, it's going to show you what fonts come with the purchase of the TRW Stone Wizard. Perfect question, Kim. Actually, that's actually a great question. We actually have the grid lines here, and Kim's question was, how do you know you're perfectly lined up on the right and left sides of the design? And now that one I kind of went quickly, but if you really want to be perfect, all you have to do is grab your grid lines, and you can see right there, you can just drag it to the edge of the design right there, and then you can do it again just by, and all I'm doing now, guys, is left clicking on the actual grid line right here. You see that, this grid line? And I'm actually able to drag it to my edges right there. So it looks like just a little bit off, but not too bad. You see that? Just a tad bit there. But of course, if I was taking my time and really, want to make this design look perfect, I would have definitely done the grid lines to make sure it was all inside my area where I wanted to be perfectly lined up. And also, you can actually use the grid lines from the top as well. As you can tell, same thing, just left clicking and holding, and I'm just grabbing that grid line and kind of dragging it down to create a nice box around my design right there, so you can actually center it that way as well there. Does that make sense? Awesome, awesome. All right, and then Shelby says, how do you smooth the glitter vinyl? It looks blockish. Shelby, I'm not sure what you mean there. Just go ahead and shoot me an email after the webinar is over, and I can certainly help you out with that, all right? All right, and then how would you do rhinestones where the red is? Again, Suzanne, this is actually a TrueType font that's already created, and I really want to stick more towards using the TrueType fonts. We do have videos showing how to do an outline and a fill with rhinestones. That's a little bit more complex. That would be a more later on the road. We'll do more complex webinars like that. But for the time being, I do want to just keep it strictly towards the TrueType fonts. But with a blocky font like this, we do have a hatch fill feature in the wizard that would allow you to fill these letters inside working with that hatch fill, all right? No, that's not too technical at all, Suzanne. I just don't want to confuse because we are just working strictly with TrueType fonts, all right? But not a big deal at all. Can you put the rhinestones around the letters? Yeah, in that case you would. All you would have to do is simply create a boundary around it, and then you would just do place fill, add stones to select a path. That makes sense, Lisa? And again, I do want to stay strictly towards TrueType fonts. I can kind of show you how it works, but I definitely want to just stick to the plan here, guys, just so we don't get too far off and confuse the people that have really worked TrueType fonts before, all right? Okay, no problem at all, Lisa. No problem at all. Erica, will you make a DVD of all the basics? Well, Erica, you can actually go on our YouTube channel and actually find all our videos. We have over 760 tutorial videos. Actually, on the Wizard, we also have a video tutorials tab up here that shows you how every feature works in the video in the Wizard. But as far as the TrueType fonts, yeah, we have several videos on our YouTube channel that are free. So you don't even have to purchase those. You can basically go in our YouTube channel, go under TrueType fonts, and you'll be able to find a lot of our videos working with these particular fonts. Alright, so let's go ahead and just change the color of the stones, and we'll change them to crystal. So now what we have is our LHS football with our crystal stones right in the middle here. And now, of course, if you were ready to send this away, or excuse me, to create the templates, all you would have to do is templates and create your TRW magic templates, of course, after you mirror the vinyl part. But now that created your your 4, because I did not combine the football and the LHS, the inside part out. But if I did combine them, you would only have 3 templates right now with the vinyl here and then the stones here. Another great thing that not a lot of people realize they can do, but in order to save material, I would actually shrink down the template size of this, because there's only one template, and you know that's going, and you know what area that's going in already. Same with the vinyl part. You can actually shrink down the template section here and save a lot of materials by shrinking down the template. You see that? And same with the football, which would be underneath the LHS there. And Lisa, yes, this would, as long as you had the Connect, the Silhouette Connect, this software with CorelDRAW would eliminate Designer Edition use, just because you would be able to cut directly from CorelDRAW to your Designer Edition. Alright, so now we have our LHS Rhinestones football here, and now let's go ahead and add the kid's number to the back. So let's just say you want to add the name and a number to the back. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my last name, Marrero. And I'm going to go ahead and just, again, I'm going to use my impact font here. There you go. Make it just a tad bit smaller. And now if I go back to my Stone Wizard and Edit tab, now this is where I'm going to use my setting of 1 when I'm doing copy selected. And I'm just going to double click again and type over this. So I'm going to type 24. And now what I have here is my my name, my last name, and my number on the back. Let's go ahead and shrink down just a tad bit here. So now let's just say, because we're using numbers now, with actual just the letters, you're able to work with the 2-color magic. And Julie, yeah, I mean, in that case, if you wanted to line them up with the templates, Julie's question was, are there registration marks or templates lined up? When you first do your templates, notice before I started switching up the sizing for the templates, that was the size of the template is actually registration marks. And hey, Robert, we'll actually be, like I said, we are recording this, so we definitely will post it on our YouTube channel after the webinar is concluded. So don't worry, even if you missed a couple minutes there, we'll have this recorded for you, all right? And Joanna, the reason I highlighted it, I just had to retype over it because I copied the top part selected, and that kept me with the same font I was using previously. So I did a copy to the bottom, and I just typed right over that and made my 24, if that makes sense. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my fonts here, and I'm going to select my TRW football, and now I actually want to use my football images. So you actually notice it's a little bit different here. So we have our 24, and it's a little bit bigger than I wanted, so let's just shrink it down just a tad bit here. Alright, so now we have our 2-color design here. The only difference with working with numbers with TrueType font is you can't use the actual 2-color magic text. That's actually created only for the letters. So what we want to do in this case is I'm going to actually hit my 2-color magic, and you notice all that did was change the color, so it didn't actually add the second color to it. So what I'm going to do now is double click, and I'm going to just highlight it again, and I'm going to hold shift and type out 24, which gives me the second color. And let me know if you guys need me to redo that for you. So all I did was I typed out my 24, changed it to my football images there, and then I went back to my Stone Wizard and did 2-color magic text. And don't worry if it didn't add the second color. Okay, I'll redo it for you guys. So let's go ahead and type out 24, and we'll do this one from scratch. So I have my 24, and I'm going to go to my Fonts tab again. And I'm going to choose my TRW football images here. So I got my 24 created. And now notice this is just the outline with the image inside. So now we want to add the second color to this number. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and click my 2-color magic text again, which it doesn't do anything. It didn't add the second color to it. So don't freak out if you don't see a second color come up when you click on that. Now what I want to do is just double click here and re-highlight my design. So all I did there was just re-highlight it. And I'm going to hold shift and while it's holding shift, I'm going to hit 2-4, and there you go. So you have your two-color design. See that? Did you guys get how I did that? Okay, perfect. Awesome, guys. All right, so now it is running. It looks like we are running, taking a little bit longer than we wanted to here. So I'm going to go ahead and try to speed this one up, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by doing the front and the back of the shirt here. Oh, Miranda, after the shift, while you're holding shift, just go ahead and hit 2-4 again. So just retype the numbers out. Yes, it is actually. Look. Okay, so Jeanette, if I zoom out of this, you notice I still have my two colors here, and it's still magic trap. So you can be able to, like you said, it did. It's going to weed behind it as well. You see that? So it is still a two-color design, and you have the magic trap that we're working with here. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to the design, the original design here. So let's go ahead and just make this part just a tad bit bigger. We'll make it about 9.5, 9.6 around there. So now we have the design for the back of the shirt, and we have our designs to the front. The one thing you want to realize here is that you need the workspace to be bigger than the actual design, otherwise it's not going to go on the mock-up. So let's go ahead and change the height of the workspace here. I'm going to change it to 25, and now I'm ready to actually create my mock-up. So what you want to do is the part of the design that you want on the front of the shirt, you're going to have highlighted, and the back you don't want to highlight. You want to keep it unhighlighted. So let's go ahead and change our colors that we want. So we'll change it. Actually, let's go ahead and change this to white. We'll change the inside here to red just to match everything else, and then we'll do white for the outline. So now we have our last name here, and we have it all ready to go. Just make it just a tad bit smaller there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight my design that's going to go on the front of the shirt, and I'm going to go to my mock-ups. So now if I go to my mock-ups, I have here all our different choices for mock-ups, but what I want to do is front and back. And now we're going to actually just select the shirt here. Actually, let's go ahead and show you the proof. So I'm going to do proof front and back. And now I have all of my different choices here. So I have my woman's scoop neck, we have our V-neck, our long sleeve, so all the different choices you got there to actually put this design onto. And I believe Shelby said on a black shirt earlier, so I'll go ahead and do that for her. So let's go ahead and click our woman's snoop neck here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and do simulate stones and stone detail as well. So let's go ahead and select my shirt, and now it's going to run through the whole design, and you'll notice it actually put it right there on the front of the shirt, and now we have the name and number on the back of the shirt, which you probably want to make the last name a little bit bigger to make it stand out a little bit better. So now what we can do, because you wanted a black shirt, no problem. We can actually click on the shirt and change that color to whatever we want, so you can actually customize the shirt color as well as the background. You see that? So you can actually put that on a black background right there, show off the design, and you can also change the color of the shirt like Shelby wanted to earlier right there. You see that? And for the title on the mock-up, if I didn't change it previously, you can actually change it right here before you create your mock-up, or you can actually double-click on that and retype it. So you can type out TRW LHS football. See that? So that's how you would retype right over that area right there. Awesome, Julie. Awesome. Glad you liked it. All right, and Lisa said, I like that feature. I would be able to show customers a real look. Exactly, and that's the main part of this mock-up feature, is that you're able to show your customers exactly what the design is going to look like, and you don't have to go ahead and give them the, oh, imagine it looks like this, or imagine it's going to look like that. No, they're going to be able to see exactly how the design looks on that t-shirt right there. If you zoom in, you notice that the stones have your actual rhinestone look to it. So again, it's just more realistic, and you're able to show your customer exactly the finished products instead of you guys having to create a sample and mailing a sample out for you guys. And also we have our proof sheet on the bottom here, which is going to tell you the price quote, quantity, design name, color, everything you guys need in there as far as documentation for your customers. You guys have this section in here, which is actually, you can actually edit this section. If you double click it, you can actually be able to change all this information here. So let's just say you want to type TRW design. If I can type it out. So you can type out TRW design and change these according to your business. Also, we actually have a video that shows you exactly how to go into the settings and change this permanently. So every time you create a proof mockup, it comes up just like you see it, or exactly how you change the how you edited the proof sheet. All right. So let's go ahead and create another cool design here for you guys. Does that make sense? Did everybody see how that font worked there with the laces and the image font working with the numbers there? Okay, awesome, awesome. So let's go ahead and go back to our main page. So actually, let me show you one last thing here before we click out. So you notice at the bottom here, once we create a mock-up, you actually have page 1, which is your original design, and your page 2, which is the mock-up. So if you don't want to go, you don't actually want to go ahead and do undo, undo, undo. That's going to cause havoc here, and it's going to freeze your Corel up. What you actually want to do, let's just say you're done with this, you saved it. All you have to do now is just right-click where it says mock-up and hit delete page. And now you got your original design here, and you're able to go ahead and work on a different design, or if you want to add on to this particular design. So let's go ahead and get rid of this, and we'll go ahead and bring in another cool design here. So this is actually a design that we have created already. And this is a baseball mom design that we have listed on the website. So let's say you have this design and you really don't want that baseball section right there. And you actually want to use a TrueType font to maybe add sister in there. No problem at all. We actually have a way to do that. So let's go ahead and ungroup it. So first thing we want to do is, you can tell I can still move this design around just by clicking it. So what I actually want to do is ungroup it. So I'm going to go ahead and click my ungroup feature. And now we're able to get rid of this section right here. So let's go ahead and delete the baseball part of it, and now we can actually add whatever we want on there. So I know that's a smaller font, so I want to say that's probably TRW 130, which is a much smaller font. It's under an inch, which is going to be great for this area right here. And I do see I got a lot of questions coming in here. Debbie says, would you be able to do a fill after 2-color magic to get the second color? And now, are you saying, Debbie, is that a fill of rhinestones or vinyl? All right. And Miranda says, where do I click to ungroup? If you go back to my Stone Wizard here, Miranda, I actually have my 3 boxes down here, and it says group everything. If you look underneath here, at this little tab right here, it actually tells you, if you hover over the actual feature, it tells you exactly what that feature does. So this one tells me it groups everything together. This one ungroups everything selected, and then this one ungroups everything selected and all groups. So it's, if you have multiple groups, it'll ungroup everything you have selected. No problem at all. All right, and Lisa said, I like that feature. I would be able to show customer look. Suzanne, do you have a wrestling one for font? Suzanne, I don't believe right at the moment we have a wrestling one, but I can definitely add it to the list for the designers to create. And Debbie, yeah, the proof, you can use the proof sheet as the quote, exactly. All right, Debbie. Okay, Debbie. Debbie wants to know, how do you split a letter, pretty please, and that add a mock-up outline for the multicolor. Okay, Debbie, again, that would be a little more complex. Like I said, that is something we have videos on, but I want to strictly keep this very simple, more towards how to actually use the TrueType fonts. Like I said, that would be a little bit more complex webinar that we can get into later on. No problem at all. And Lisa said, so can I save as many mockups as I like? Yeah, absolutely. You can save them. You can save them to your Dropbox, right to your computer. You can save all the mockups you want. Absolutely. All right. Can we do these same things on Designer Edition? Dolores, technically you can do a lot of this, yes. It's just going to be a little bit tougher. It's going to be a lot more steps to do when working with the TrueType fonts. The wizard just makes your life easier when actually resizing, when you're editing the actual wording. It just makes your life easier because everything is basically a click away, whereas Designer Edition, it does take several steps to do what we're doing here. As far as the ungrouping and ungrouping, yeah, you can definitely use that. You can still do that in the Designer Edition. All right, so what I want to do here now is let's go ahead and add sister to this area right here. So let's go ahead and choose, let's go ahead and create a little oval design here. And all I'm doing is just creating a path for this. So let's go ahead and just place this right here. And I'm going to go ahead and type out sister now. Actually, not sister, I'm sorry. We'll just type out softball. And now what I can do is I'm going to shrink this down just a tad bit. And I can do now, notice that with my tab, or excuse me, my toolbar now up here, we have a couple features here for working specifically with TrueType fonts, or excuse me, with fonts. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my middle one here, the A with the kind of a path going underneath it. And it says fit text with path, so that's exactly what I want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and now I can add that to my path. See that? So I can shrink it down some, and now you have your softball right there. So go ahead and shrink it just a tad bit more. and I'm going to go back to my fonts tab, and I'm going to click TRW 130. And actually, because I typed it in uppercase, I actually don't want that. Let's go ahead and take our caps lock off, and I'm going to type in softball again. You see that? So I can just retype it. I'm going to just go back to my stone wizard, and now I can change the stone size back to what I need it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and resize. Oh, see what I'm doing here, guys? As long as I get rid of my path now, I'm able to go back to my actual font, and now I can go ahead and resize it. You see that? So notice how it's just a little too big for that area. So what I can do is actually move it up just a tad bit here, or double click, and I can actually change the size of that to make it fit a lot better. You see that? And then just center it, and now you're set. So now you just got softball mom instead of baseball mom, and you're able to go ahead and change the color of these stones. If I go to my design prep, yes, I did, Lisa. I did delete the path, and all I did to delete the path was double click on the actual circle part of it, the oval part of it, which I was able to just select that part and hit delete, and it deleted that part of the design. So now you got softball mom, and now you're able to create your mock-up or your templates. So let's just say you have, let's go ahead and make sure that these are all the same color, so they're not. So you want to make sure that black all the same. So now it is, and now you're able to create your templates. So you can go highlight templates, create magic templates, and you're ready to go. You see that? So you're all set there. Does anybody have any questions on how to change a pre-existing font like that, where you can actually just customize a pre-existing design? All right, Kelly said, can you resize any of the Rhinestone TrueType fonts so they can be placed on the left chest design? Now, as far as the Rhinestone TrueType fonts, Kelly, with those are set specifically to a certain size depending on the stone size. So the only way to really change the size of the font or the actual design is by changing the stone size. So let's just say you have, TRW typed out, and you want to just have it in, we'll go ahead and go back to our TRW7 here. So we're going to go double click here. Oop. And I'm going to go back to my stone wizard, and I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to do my two color magic. But now watch, if I do resize, and we're going to make it all SS10s. So right now we have it at 9.9 inches wide. And this is SS10s. Now if you wanted to change it to 16s, all that's going to happen is that the size of the stones are going to get larger, and the actual design is going to increase. You see that? So that's the way you would change the size of that particular design. Portia, shoot me an email in regards to that question. I'll be more than happy to assist you with that, all right? All right, so one other quick, let's go ahead and go over another cool design that we're going to create from scratch here, and I can actually give it out. I'll go ahead and put it on the website for free for you guys, all right? So I'm actually going to create a proud football mom design using 3 different types of TrueType fonts that we actually have created in the past. So show you a cool different, font that we actually created. It's a script font. We have a feature in the wizard that allows you to resize a script font using multiple sizes, stones, to make it look really, really cool. So first thing we want to do is I'm going to go ahead and type out proud. So let's go ahead and type out our proud. And again, I'm going to use my TRW 130 just because it's a smaller font and it looks really cool when actually using that font to kind of add it to more larger design. All right, so we got our proud here. I'm going to go back to my stone wizard, and I'm going to resize it. So now you can tell it's 2.8. So that's a pretty small font right there, which is really nice to work with. So now I'm going to go ahead and choose my two different size stone font that we're going to be using, which is our TRW. It is our TRW 04, and I have that actually saved right up here. So we have our TRW 04 superscript multi-stone font, which we're going to use right now. So again, I'm going to type out football, select my TRW 04, and now let's just zoom down just a tad bit here, and I'm going to go back to my stone wizard. And now I'm going to click on my resize design here, but instead of saying yes when it asks me not all stones are 0.13 inches, I'm actually going to click on no, and you'll see why we do that. So let's just say we have our football. Look how nicely all the letters are spaced out. We can actually delete this one right here, make it just a little nicer. There you go. So just one minor fix right there, it looks like, but everything else looks like it looks awesome. So that's exactly what we wanted there. And now what I like to do is highlight and group it together because I'm going to be working with this particular part of the design a little bit more. And now I only have to click it once, so I don't actually have to highlight it every time. I'm able to move it around because I grouped it all together. You see that? So we can actually do the same thing with the Proud. And I do have a couple more questions coming in. And Erica says, how can you tell on the fonts which are stone and which are vinyl? And actually, Erica, under our website, it's very easy to find those. If you look under our download files, TrueType fonts, you'll see they're separated in there. So you'll see where it says the vinyl font and the TrueType fonts, as well as if on the name, you'll actually see where it says multi-deck if it's Rhinestones and vinyl. Or if you're using just Rhinestones, it'll tell you Rhinestone or RF. But if you're using vinyl, you'll notice that it says right up here, TRW Football Images HTV. So the HTV is really what you're looking for with the TrueType fonts for the vinyl. All right, so back to our design here. So what I want to actually do is I'm going to just kind of angle it some here to give it a nice cool looking effect. And that way I can fit my Proud right in this area right here. So actually we can probably just tab in more. Let's go ahead and change it right here. And now we can put our Proud right in this area right here just to give it a nice cool looking effect to it. And now we can grab one of our two-color designs, two-color TrueType fonts, and we're going to create the mom section right here on the bottom. So again, I'm going to just go ahead and click on my text tab right there. I'm going to type in mom, uppercase, and I'm going to go ahead and select my TRW, I believe it's 45. So let me go ahead here and type that in. So there it is. We have our TRW 25. I typed it in uppercase, so we have our fill ready. I'm going to go back to my Stone Wizard, and I'm going to hit my two-color magic, which added that second color to it. You see that? So now we have our two-color design there, and all we have to do now is resize it. So because this is all the same stone size, we're going to go ahead and hit yes, and now we have our Proud football mom right there ready to go. So again, we had a question earlier on how to make sure that it's right there on the edge. And all I'm going to do is just grab my grid line tool right there, and I'm going to just drag it just a tad bit, and it looks like my mom's just a little bit off. And notice I'm using this last piece of the circle there. So now we have our football mom design right here. And now, what colors do you guys want to use for this particular design here? Okay, looks like you guys want crystal. All right, looks like crystal's a pretty popular one. Go ahead and throw another color out there. Do you guys want cyan? Perfect. Okay. So what we can do here is now we do have to ungroup these. So I'm going to go ahead and ungroup, and then let's go ahead and change this. We can change this to maybe, we'll do crystal. And notice how this one's gone now. And then we can do cyan for this one, and then maybe crystal for the outline of the mom as well. So again, we have all our colors here on the left-hand side. And now we can go ahead and select. And all I'm doing is selecting one stone and hitting my select all same colors here. And there we go. So now we have our Proud mom there, and now we're able to create our mock-up. So let's go back to our mock-up feature. And now we only have front. So if you want to just put it on the front of a t-shirt, and you want to add all the stone simulation, or excuse me, all the stone detail, your logo, and the simulate stones feature, all we're going to do is just select our single shirt front, and now just select our shirt that we want to use, and there we go. So we got our Proud football mom here. Let's go ahead and change the color to maybe, we change it blue for right now. Or you can change it to black. You know, any color you guys want to change it to, you can change it. So you have your Proud football mom. You actually have your stones in there. And you have, again, the love paw that we needed to switch around there. So we have our TRW football mom. And now let's just say you want to add just a little bit more to this design. So let's say you want to add a little bit more bling to that design. All we have to do is hit our magic bling right here and hold shift, and that's going to give you a nice cool looking bling star that right there. You see that? So now you're able to go ahead and export this file right here and email it to your customer with that design on the t-shirt, exactly what it's going to look like. And Debbie wants to know where is select all same color. And perfect question, Debbie. Actually, select all same color is right up here. If you look at the three little boxes up here, we have our find all same size. We have find all same color, and then we also have find same size and same color. Amy wants to know what the magic bling is. Let me show you real quick here, Amy. So actually, that did it right there. But if I zoom out, let's go back to my first page. And let's just say you have, I'm just going to draw a black box real quick for you. So we have our magic bling is basically just a nice little star, bling star that it creates for you. If you leave it, if you just click it and start clicking on it, you're going to get the larger bling star. If you hold shift, you're going to get the smaller bling shot, which is, magic bling star, which you're going to be able to use on the mock-up with the shirt. Whereas the one with just without the shift, you want to use on the actual mock-up without the shirt. Awesome, awesome. So I'm glad you guys liked that one. And now let's go ahead, and I do have one more design we can go over. And this is actually a really cool font that we've created, and it's called the Mega Sports Pack. And that's basically a design, or a font that we created that actually has the sports balls in there, and it actually also has the mom part on the bottom. So let me go ahead and bring that up for you guys here. So if I go to the Rhinestone World, I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the font so you guys can see exactly what comes with this font. So I'm just going to go to my shop products, and another cool thing about the TrueType fonts is that they always come with a mock-up with this point size and a sample of what that font's going to type out. Say you type out baseball, it's going to tell you exactly the width and the height, so you can reference it and see if that font is going to be okay for what design you guys are trying to work with. So I'm just going to go back to my design downloads here. You guys can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm just bringing up the image with the actual font that I'm going to be using today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use our Mega Sports Pack here. So if you guys can see it right here, we have our Mega Sports Pack, and it has the baseball, cheer, football, hockey, all the different sports. It has the balls right here and the 2 M's with your numbers. So what do you guys feel like, what are you guys thinking about sports? You guys want football? You guys want hockey? Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, exactly, Julie. Yep, exactly. All right, so we got soccer. Looks like soccer won this one, guys. All right, so soccer was the first one duplicated twice. So let's go ahead and show you guys how to work with this design. So it looks like soccer in here is the lower P. So I'm just going to, all I have to type out is the lower P here. And I'm going to go to my fonts, and I'm going to go back to my Mega Sports. Let's see if I have it right here. Doesn't look like I do. Let me go ahead and find it in here then. Let's see if it's this one. Okay, right here. So it looks like this is the one we actually want. So I got my P, and now we got our soccer here. And let me go ahead and add that to my favorites while I'm at it. So notice how I just wanted to add it to my favorites. I went ahead and added it, and now I'm able to use that font right away, and I don't have to worry about looking for it later on. So now we have our soccer. I'm going to go ahead and just make this the correct size. Now we got our .13s right there. And I do, Anne Marie, I understand it's football season. I was just going by whatever everybody put on there first, all right? And I saw soccer was the one duplicated twice. So now I'm able to go ahead and type out my my mom with the soccer ball inside. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to type in mom. So I'm going to type in my M. My lowercase is going to give me the outline. And then the soccer ball is S. So I'm going to go MSM. I'm going to go back to my fonts here. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on my mom pack. And now you see you have the M, the soccer ball, and the M. You see that? Miranda, the arch, it's already installed with the font. If I bring back my mock-up here, you can tell that the words already arched, so you don't have to even worry about that part of it. This is actually how the design was, or excuse me, the font was created with those arched words in there. So you don't even have to worry about that part of it. But if you did want to do an arch, it'd be more of what we did earlier with that baseball mom design, and we added softballs to the top. That would be the same exact concept. No problem at all. So now we have our M, soccer ball M, and now, of course, we want to add the second color to that. So we're going to go back to my edit tab, and I'm going to do 2-color magic. And all we have left to do now is resize it. So I'm going to go ahead here and resize my design. And now you have your soccer mom ready to go. You see that? So now you're able to change the color of the soccer or the ball inside, and this design is ready to create your templates. So now, we're going to go ahead and highlight templates and create your TRW Magic templates. So now you have your two templates created here, ready to go. You see that? So you have the fill and you have the outline, and this design is ready to send to your cutter. And Joanna said, is this the same as the Ultimate Sports Package? It's similar, Joanna, but all we did was just kind of create it into a TrueType font to make your life easier. But because, of course, before you would have manually grab each letter and bring it together, and, you know, it was just a little bit more of a hassle than it is typing it out. And, you know, especially typing out MSM, and you got your mom on the bottom with your soccer ball and your fill. Yeah, Janet, to send to your cutter, I would just highlight both my templates here, make sure it's inside your workspace, and I'm going to go to my export feature. I'm going to select my software, cutting software, and I would just do send to cutter. Obviously, I don't have the connect connected to this particular CorelDRAW version, so it's not going to recognize the connect, but that's how you would do send to your cutters. Highlight your templates, and then select the particular software, and then you just hit send to cutter. No problem at all. All right, guys, looks like it's already 4 o'clock, so it does look like we took the full hour here today. Does anybody else have any questions at all? I'll be more than happy to answer those for you guys. I will also post that Proud Football Mom design on the website for you guys. It'll be a free download for 24 hours, so make sure you guys go on there and download that file. In the meantime, do you guys have any questions at all? And yes, Jeanette, the Connect is ready for Corel X7. We actually tested it here in the warehouse, and it is ready to go for the X7. Shelby, the design name is, I'll bring it back in here, it is the TRW Mega Sports Pack 1. So that font right there is going to give you all the different words for the sports, your M's, your different numbers down here with all your balls and your fills as well at the top here. So all you have to do is one click is going to give you the L. You type in L and you're going to get the lacrosse fill. You type in the uppercase L and you're going to get just the outline. All right, looks like we have Dolores says, what should I use? I'm not using CorelDRAW. Hey, Dolores, like I said earlier, you can use this font in the Designer Edition or in another software that allows you to use TrueType fonts. The only difference is you would be using the point size rather than the resize or the two-colored feature that comes with the wizard. But, like I said, you can use it with different software. You don't just need the wizard and Corel to work with these TrueType fonts. Exactly, Amy. The magic bling was just to add more bling to your mock-up, and so you can send it off to your customer. If Joanna said if the design is bigger, perfect. So let's just say this design right here, Joanna, this is 19.5 inches wide, which obviously wouldn't work for your Designer Edition. So what you can do is stack the templates differently. So now that way you're under that 12 inches wide, and you're at 12 inches tall now, but you're still able to cut this in your silhouette because it's not taking up the 12 inches wide that the silhouette comes in. And yes, they do. Shelby asked, do the numbers fit in the sports outlines? So yes, Shelby, with that particular design, let's just say you have the outline here, you'll be able to put the numbers inside that outline. So you can actually put it, you know, the 12 or the 1 right inside that ball right there. All right, so we have, if your design is bigger, okay, doesn't work. The numbers, the Mega Sports Pack. Yeah, the Mega Sports Pack, Janet, that's the name of that particular font. Excuse me, yeah, font. How big are the numbers on the Mega Pack? Those are mini numbers. They look a little bigger because of you can actually tell what they are in the image, but they are mini numbers. They're very small. Let's actually type one out for you guys right here. So let's just say you have 1 typed out. And we're going to go to my sports pack, resize. So it looks like the 1 is 1.8 inches tall right there. So 1.8 inches tall. Do the wizard only work with CorelDRAW? Yeah, Lisa. The wizard, unfortunately, only works with CorelDRAW and needs CorelDRAW to do most of its features. You'll be using CorelDRAW to do all the vectorizing part of it, and then the wizard to do everything else as far as Rhinestones, mockups, templates, all your HTV design work where you're doing Magic Trap. You're going to be able to work with the wizard as well on that. Do the wizard only work with Corel? Do the numbers fit in the sports ball? What is a Magic Bling? Or what is a Magic Bling, Rhinestone, or Vinyl? Jenna, the Magic Bling, the magic vinyl is actually all of our colors that we have installed in the wizard. So all of the different glitter colors, holographic, fashion, and electric, we have in there. The magic bling is just a little bit of a kind of a show off for your mock-up, where you're going to be able to just add a little bit more pop to it. So you see that it actually adds like a blink star to your mock-up. Yes, CorelDRAW X6 will work just fine for you, Amy. The free file, Karen, I will post it on Facebook when I have it listed, and it'll be just under the deals. You can go in there and actually get that free file, all right? No, Lisa, this is actually only for CorelDRAW. It does not work with Illustrated. Crystal, if you're not on Facebook, just make sure you check. Hopefully I'll have this up and ready to go in about 30 minutes, all right? The design, hopefully I'll have it listed in about 30 minutes for you guys. Yeah, actually we do have a video showing how to use the calculator, Jackie. Jackie was asking if there's a video on how to use the apparel calculator, the Rhinestone apparel calculator that we offer on. It's an Excel file, and it allows you to enter in the labor, the material cost, and it's going to calculate a price for that particular item that you guys are creating. But we do have a video on that as well, actually underneath the actual item on the website. I think the video is located right underneath that particular item as well. Oh, the bling is vinyl. Yeah, Portia was asking if the magic bling on the inner mock-up feature here, the magic bling, was vinyl or rhinestone, and it's actually vinyl. All right, guys. So it looks like everybody. That's everybody's questions. Does everybody have any other questions at all before I take off here? Looks like an hour runs by pretty quick here. So let me know if you guys have any questions at all. I'll be more than happy to answer those. Daniel's on the background as well. Suzanne said, is the 2.09 a free upgrade? Yeah, it is, Suzanne. You should already have that 2.09 in your order. Just make sure once you go into your account in the RhinestoneWorld.com, and underneath your order for the TRW Stone Wizard, you'll see the 2.09 upgrade in there. It's like I said, it's a free upgrade for you to download, and you'll have the toolbar up here with a lot of new features that are going to make working with the wizard a lot easier. Solid colors listed on the Rhinestone Wizard. Does it work with a US cutter? As far as the US cutter, you still would have to export the design, but yes, it would work, yes. Shelby, just we have a TRW wish list. If you go to Shop TRW Products here, we do have a Stone Wizard upgrade wish list suggestions here. Just click on that tab, and you'll be able to enter any suggestions you have for future future features added to the wizard for the upgrade or updates in the near future. Dolores, the Stone Wizard is $279.99, so $279.99. Great thing about the wizard is you'll only pay that full amount your first time. After that, you'll only be paying the difference in the price for the upgrade. So let's just say we upgraded it tomorrow and it's now $300. You only be paying $30 difference for that for the upgrade. Jeanette, yes, the Connect is on the website, so you can actually go in there and purchase the Connect right from the website. I believe it's already updated. It says Corel X7 compatible, so you should be good to go with that one. All right, guys. So thank you again so much for everybody participating today. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. And like I said, I will go ahead and post that design on the website for you guys, and it'll be free for 24 hours. Okay, so make sure you take advantage of that and download that particular design. Yes, Lisa. Yes, because you did buy the Design Studio. If you did have Corel and you want to add Connect, you would have to repurchase Connect. All right. Awesome, guys. So again, thank you so much for everybody participating. My name is Rudy. Say thank you to Daniel in the background answering all your questions today. Make sure we also have 3 more webinars this week. Tomorrow is a paid one. It's at 10:30 in the morning. Matt will be conducting that one, and he'll be creating a unique design from scratch. So that is more of a complex webinar, and you guys should learn a lot on that one as well. We also have a late night webinar on Thursday. That's at 8:30, and we'll be going over an overview of the TRW Stone Wizard. And finally, we have one more paid webinar on Friday, and that's going to be going over tips and shortcuts using CorelDRAW. So a lot of cool features, a lot of cool different things you can do with CorelDRAW that you might not have known that. but we'll go over those as well. So make sure you guys sign up for those webinars. As always, my name is Rudy. Daniel in the background. Everybody have a great day.